What is going on, guys? Chipmaster22 here, and welcome to the Grid Watchers podcast, a brand new series with myself, Rickson, Causa, and Semba, where we'll talk all things Formula 1. So, chaps, it's been quite a busy winter. We've had driver changes, we've had Paddy Lowe go from Mercedes to Williams, James Allison going from Ferrari to Mercedes, and of course, you've got Bernie Ecclestone going as well, but we'll talk about them more in depth later on in the podcast. But the main thing, of course, has got to be the car designs. It feels like it's been a sort of 12 days of Christmas for all F1 fans the past week or so. But I'll hand it over to Causa to talk more in depth about the car designs and the liveries.
The cars this year, actually, I would just a general design look like really good. Like the new tech specs and everything have made it look really sort of, I don't know, more aggressive, I guess, hasn't it? I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's been good. If anyone else wants to input, that would be great.
I just love how aggressive they look with the new lowered rear wing, and I'm quite a big fan of the new, almost V-shaped front wing. I mean, it just adds to more aggressive look. I mean, compared to this year's cars, last year's cars were like, how do you call them? A word you can say on YouTube for not very manly. Let's put it that way.
They were very sweet,
feminine.
They sort of remind me of those the 2010, 2011 cars. Now I think if you go back over the years, the cars, the last, I guess 3 years since that big update in 2013 when Mercedes just dominated, the cars haven't been as nice. Racing hasn't been as good as it used to be. Was it 2010 or 2011 when we had 6 or 7 different winners in the first 6-7 races? Was it 2010?
Yeah, 2010 or 2011.
You had Buddy Maldonado winning, didn't you?
Maldonado will go down in F1 history.
Yeah.
It's like fucking.
Well, there's just one thing about the fins. I really hope that they're there for aerodynamics and stuff, and I really hope they help, because I don't think I hope it's not there for the looks, because if the person who came up with it, fire him. I hope it helps with aerodynamics, but it's not.
I mean, I'm not into the techie side of it. I don't think as much as you guys are. For me, it's more those fins and all that. The not sure what it's called, but that new bit that's off the back sits just behind the driver's head. For me,
the airbox.
The really small things like that haven't been changed. Kind of sticking with the old patterns of what the cars have been like for the last few years, and also obviously, like I said, the fins and the front bumper as well. I think on the new Red Bull, they've done something really different. It almost looks like they've drilled a hole in the front wing from where it comes down, and there's just a big hole in there. It's just like the small things that make the car look completely different.
Well, I've got a picture here now from from the new Mercedes, looking from the top down, and the flatbed. I mean, people who play the Formula 1 game know the side pod glitch, but I mean, but on the new Formula 1 cars for 2017. The side pods have lots of little bits to it that look really fragile. That could ruin your race.
You can't touch someone's side pod now, can you? Because you just get a puncture.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Because the barge boards wouldn't you?
I think that might be an issue.
Yeah, there's lots of spiky bits all over the car.
Yeah, maybe Rickson has some opinions on that, because Rickson's good with punctures in Monaco, aren't you?
Ah, good one.
Oh, that was...
Hey ho!
Hashtag noob journey memories.
What was the noob journey again? I forgot what it is.
I don't know.
Who are you guys? How do I know you?
We just ended up in a random chat, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, chat roulette.
Unfortunately, chat roulette. Okay, that's a bit weird.
I mean, I have to say that I really like the look of this year's cars. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I do. However, there's still one
thoughts
big
on
question, which is
on the liveries though.
Liveries. Mercedes.
Yeah, I was going to do the Mercedes livery. Yeah.
Mercedes has not been very imaginative.
I mean, all
No,
four
yeah, I agree
of
with you
the
there.
4 fastest cars haven't changed. I'm looking at them now. You've got the Merc,
The Red Bull.
The Red Bull looks the same. The Williams looks the same.
Force India.
I mean, even the Force India, it kind of looks like the first season. No, what the season where they took away the green. I think that was 2012 when they just went with the orange and the silver. It looks it's been the same since then.
I mean,
but if you
I get it.
further down the grid you go, the better the cars get. Like the Renault, it looks sick. The Sauber looks amazing. The Haas, which has only come out today. Was it today?
Yeah,
was
today.
Yeah, looks really nice.
Yeah.
For me,
finish looks incredible.
Yeah, but for me, personally, the best looking car, and I know you guys don't agree, but for me, the best looking car has to be the Toro Rosso. I don't know why, but I like it.
Dumb.
Although there is one design
Deserting
flaw.
the old Red Bull there.
Yeah, there is one design flaw. You can see like the red striping and everything. If you put super soft tires on there, it's just too much red going on. So I think Toro Rosso aren't going to use super softs all season.
Yeah, they're going to be ultra soft.
I doubt.
I think they
the case, but you know,
they
maybe.
change those alloys. Black alloys would be nicer on that car.
But I mean, I don't know who shouted it out, but the Haas looks fucking. Oh, sorry, it looks beeping amazing this year.
It was meant to be a PC podcast, but December's just ruined it, you know.
Bleeping amazing. It looks bleeping amazing.
It does look good. But
Yeah, that Haas does
I
look
will
very
say,
nice.
The Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, Williams, all of they've got God knows how many people on their design crew, and it's come to the day before they've had to like unveil the cars, and they've gone, so what's the livery look like? And they've gone, I don't know.
Fuck.
I don't know. And then what they've done,
I forgot about
they've
it.
used an old computer technique. What they've done is they've pressed Control C on 2016, Control V on 2017, and gone, do you know what? It looks incredible.
There is one thing
That's
I'm
all
noticing
that's happened.
now that I'm looking at some pictures from the top down, that Mercedes has gone for like a completely different nose. Not like the front wing, but just like the nose.
Yeah.
You know, you got the like this takes Force India. Yeah, you got the two sides and then the auxiliary tool in the middle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mercedes doesn't have that. I've just
Mercedes
noticed.
Mercedes have got like a small bit sort of linking the nose to the front wing, and then just sort
Yeah.
of, it looks like a very basic front wing from the sort of top down I'm looking at.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, but there is a hole in there as well that would allow the air to be. It will help push that front wing down to push that car onto the track to gain more grip. So but it's interesting. Like if you look at the Red Bull, for example, it's like a little like a Henry Hoover. They put on the front of it.
$1 million, $1 million team, and they got Henry de Hoover on their front.
And then, do you know what? Henry was an incredible piece of machinery.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they're all. If you look at Force India, the way they've done their front, they've got like 2 slits on their front wing.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah, exactly.
I don't really know how their whole front of that car looks horrendous. The way it's like drops down.
It's similar to last season. It's a different type of nostril because they
Yeah.
had those 2 nostrils on the past 2 seasons. It's worked really well for them, and they've just changed
that's
it to
true,
allow
yeah.
more air to go through that bit. But it's not. It's one that could be made a lot of jokes of in the front
Yeah.
of the car.
Yeah,
Can
but
I
they're
just-
trying to.
Can I just
Go on,
say,
Simba.
now that I'm looking through all the pictures, whoever is responsible for like the marketing stuff at Sauber, what an absolute legend. I mean, let's be honest, during the season they probably won't get a lot of attention because, let's face it, they're a lower tier team, but
Yeah.
releasing your car first and coming up with something that looks as beautiful as that, I mean,
Sauber is one of my favourite cars.
I hate the Sauber.
That
I think it
gold
looks
is
gross.
Just gorgeous.
No, it ruins it. The gold ruins it.
no, it
Yeah,
just,
but- Okay,
Ah.
let's be honest.
I don't like
Last year's
it.
car was exactly the same as the year before, and it was so dull and it was so boring.
last year's
that
was
it's
done
good
by
seeing
an
them do
intern.
something different. It was
Yeah,
good seeing
done on
them do something
Microsoft
different.
Paint.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just
By an
good to see
intern
them
on
do
Microsoft
something
Paint.
different.
And then, I mean, you are all in love. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, all 3 of you really like the Renault, don't you?
The Renault
Yeah,
is a
it's my
very
favourite.
tasty
It's
My
car.
favourite by an absolute
Yeah.
country mile.
Yeah,
Definitely,
love that
yeah,
car.
agree with you there.
The mix of yellow and black, especially towards the rear, is just gorgeous.
It's really
it's
nice.
not it's good looking, but I would have preferred it if they would have done like black and yellow striping all around instead of the full yellow nose. But that's not my main problem with it. You know what my main problem is, and I know I'm being I'm whining a bit now.
No, go for it.
It just reminds me of a livery and a racing team that you pick in Motorsport Manager.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I agree with you
I can see
there.
that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah. Totally.
yeah.
But that's why it looks so nice to so many people, because
Yeah.
it's different. Like when most games now, they give you a option.
Yeah.
If it's like Motorsport Manager, let's say, it gives you an option to make your car like a crazy colour, like green, pink.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you and no one wants to just have a black car or a white car
Yeah,
or
no,
a
they
silver
don't.
car, because it's boring. You want to be different, and
True.
for Renault, because they aren't going to win any races for at least 2 seasons, they've got to do something to stand out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the yellow is that thing that
I think-
sells them differently to all of the other cars.
I have to say, Renault have implemented the livery onto their wing like the best. Like black, small yellow stripe, finished. Same with Ferrari, white wing, small Italian flag on it. I mean, perfect.
Yeah. It's
But
beautiful.
it's the simplicity that counts. But then you got Force India, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, I don't
Force
like
Indians
this.
gets worse as you go back. Definitely.
It's because
It starts
they've
off
stayed
the
with the
grey
same
and
colour,
looks
haven't
good,
they?
then it's worse, just worse. They obviously
Yeah.
run out of time towards the back. They obviously had a similar issue with Williams, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes, where the day before they just went, "We haven't got anything," and then had to sort
Yeah.
of rush it.
The one
Actually
car
done bad.
we haven't talked about yet is the mouldy orange McLaren that I
like
think
it.
is
No, I think
grim.
it's- I'm really
Oh,
Mouldy
I
orange.
don't like it.
I am
It's-
so happy that they've done something different, because like
Oh,
the 3 years that they had the black and the red, they've been woeful. So I'm so hoping that with like the new livery, it will like completely change their fortune to become like a completely new team.
It's too much orange.
To be fair, I had no idea there was going to be orange. It's not like they hinted towards it or
No, they
anything,
didn't
haven't
hint
they?
it. I think there is quite a lot of disappointed people, because what they were looking at was that sort of like orange veins almost with the black.
Yeah.
Which, if they had that,
Yeah.
would have looked. That would be my favourite car by far.
Can I just say
But they
there is
haven't
one
done it.
there is one other car we haven't talked about yet, and maybe it's because they're really blending in right now. Same with their drivers. It's Ferrari. I mean, I really don't like it. I don't know why. It's the same as
It's the
last
same-
year. Maybe
same
not.
thing, isn't it? Exactly
It looks
the
the
same.
same every
looks
single
the
year.
same.
But it's because their brand is so strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is true.
When you
red
think
Ferrari
of-
is- yeah.
Of them, you think red, you think prancing horse, you think
Italy.
you know
Italian
speed,
Yeah.
and that red. If they just go away from that red, they've got such a big group of fans.
Yeah,
that
true.
They'll go crazy.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't- you
going
can't go
back to
white.
Renault again, because Renault can keep chopping and changing because their fan base isn't as big. So because they have such a big fan base,
Yeah, I can see what you
you
mean.
know, people will
It's
get
just-
very
it's just
angry if
steeped
they
in
just.
history, though, isn't it? The Ferrari's just steeped in so much history of always being red. That red prancing horse all looking car.
It's
Yeah,
the
but-
passionate red, isn't that? That is it's an identity that they have that no one
Yeah.
else really
Like-
has.
Anywhere between the 60s and the 90s, if you walked into a Ferrari dealership and you said, "What color would you like, red or red?" If you said yellow, you got kicked
What
out.
shade
Yeah,
of red would you
exactly.
like?
Yeah.
I mean, Mercedes. I mean, they're the silver arrows. Fair enough. It's got to be silver, but do something original. I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit biased towards Mercedes. I don't know why. Grew up with it. But I mean, that's the same thing I got. Like, oh, Mercedes is revealing today. Yeah, it's going to be silver with a hint of blue and a little bit of what's it? That greeny thing.
Yeah.
so
I actually found out the other day why Mercedes is called the prancing horse, the silver.
Nice
arrow.
Come on, mate.
Why is that?
When they were doing a race, when they were doing like one of their first races, they did all the paint job for the car, and then the car was overweight, so they stripped all the paint, so it just showed the silver metal behind it.
Oh,
And they
interesting.
won that race, and that's why they're called the Silver Arrows.
Causes fun fact of the day.
That's the fact of the day.
That zero people care about it.
Can I just say, McLaren, going back like with the orange livery, back to when Jos Verstappen was racing in what was it, Minardi?
Tyrell wasn't.
Tyrell, yeah.
That's going back some way.
That's going back a while, isn't it? That's 80s, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going back before I was born.
Let's go way before I was born.
It's Spiker.
Yeah. I tweeted about that when they released it.
Yeah, I have got a tweet here from somebody basically saying Spiker and Manor had a drunk night, may have fondled and made the
McLaren,
the new Honda. I was like, okay.
So
Alright, guys.
If
There's
you're
one
gonna...
car we've completely ignored.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that is true.
And it's Williams. What is going on with Williams?
Boring.
Just
same old, isn't it?
Same
Same
old.
old.
I would say.
Yeah,
I mean,
they just extended the martini up the shark fin, and that's about it.
Yeah, but that's again going back to like the marketing and the brand
and the rally.
Obviously,
and
they've got deals with Shaw, which is why their main sponsor is still Shaw. Even with Martini, they've got a sponsorship with those, and their deals haven't finished, and I doubt they will finish for many years. So their car isn't going to change. It's going to stay like that for however many years.
Same when Martini was sponsoring rally teams, their liveries didn't change at all through 10 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad livery. It's a nice livery. It's clean, but the only thing is, as fans, you just want to see something different. You know, you've got the whole new cars coming in. It's going to be lower to the ground, and to just see the same livery on it is, it's boring. But there's nothing they can do when you're locked in a sponsorship deal like Williams are.
True.
So
were there even people at the launch? Because some pictures from Williams leaked. I remember reading up on it online, like a team that does like all the designing and such and social media and stuff, and their images leaked from the Williams. I mean, everyone knew it was going to be, like Rickson said, white and a Martini livery. But everyone knew it was going to be the same. But still, they were like, "Oh, our car's getting launched tomorrow." Yeah, we've all seen it. Bye. That was. I think that's literally how it went.
Yeah.
It was how it went, because I don't reckon they were leaked. I reckon they actually sort of went, we'll sort of get our car in first, get it the first one talked about, and then sort of went, we've actually.
And that'll be the last time of the season people talk about it.
Well, they did do an online release, didn't they? But that was without the shark fin on the back and some of the other bits that they put on. That was on Monday, I think.
You know what? I would like to know from you guys, actually. Looking at the images, the Merc is the only car that hasn't got that shark fin on. Now, I'm not sure if that's because of the images I'm looking at are prototypes or the real thing.
No, the real thing. They haven't got it.
So
it sort of does.
Barcelona.
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 Yeah, it's only in Barcelona this time. There's no. Is it Jerez?
Yeah, Jerez they used to do, but they haven't actually done that for a couple of years now.
No, it's just Barcelona.
So, do you guys think that, obviously I'm a big Merc fan, do you think that shark fin will hinder them, or do you reckon they'll just be as quick as they were last season?
Yeah, I'm going to say they're going to be as quick.
With a shark fin, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you look at the picture I'm looking at on the BBC Sport website right now is the above view, and it does have a sort of a spline, like a spine on it on the back.
Yeah. Like
if you can
tiny
see.
thing.
Yeah, I don't know whether, like we've said already, maybe they've just shown it off now, and then in Barcelona they'll put a wing on. But it's Mercedes. They're still going to be up the front. Hopefully, because myself and December are both Red Bull fans, so we want Red Bull to pick it up again. So hopefully there's a battle, because the last 3 years have just been a bit wank, really. It just seems Mercedes at the front the whole time. So
I mean, but now you guys have Max. Surely you think that you've got probably the after Lewis, you've got to have the next world champion.
Yeah, well,
champion.
not this season. I'm just going to shout it out. I mean, I'm a big Max Verstappen fan, obviously. But I'm just going to shout it out already. This year is not his year. He will... Well, I mean, Red Bull are going to finish high. Don't get me wrong on that. I mean, it's either going to be Daniel or Max on one of the podium steps week in, week out. I can assure you that. I'm really confident about it. But I don't think it's Max's year yet. I mean, we've all... Some people got annoyed at him. I mean, sometimes I was watching as well, like, what are you doing, mate? You know those small mistakes? If you could limit those this season, then next season he's going to be top contender next season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of driver he is, though. That's like some of the races, especially near the tail end of last season, some of the moves he were going for would literally make the whole race for me.
Yeah.
Like, trying to think back, a few of the end races
Brazil.
pretty dull.
Brazil
Yeah.
was just entirely Max Verstappen.
When he went, what I think it was when you come down the hill. I think it's like turn 3, and he overtook about 3 cars in 3 separate laps, going right round the
Sorry.
Same place where we took Rosberg.
Same place every single time.
It's just unbelievable.
He really made Rosberg look like a little schoolgirl there.
He does remind me of a young Lewis Hamilton and a young Senna. The way he's fearless. Yeah, he couldn't care less.
Balls of steel.
Balls of steel. Yeah. But I like Semba. I'm more of a Ricciardo or Ricciardo fan myself, and I think, but Red Bull do have the best lineup this year. But Lewis is still the best driver on the grid he's still the best. He's just ridiculously good.
He's quick in qualifying. He can pull like incredible moves when he needs to.
Yeah.
Although he's got the experience now, unlike Max Verstappen, to make the right moves at the right time with minimal risk.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a toned down version of Max.
Now that we're talking about Mercedes and Rickson, you said earlier about that little fin, just to end on the whole fin thingy. I think it can only go 2 ways. Either so testing starts tomorrow. So today's Sunday. Testing starts tomorrow in Barcelona. Yeah. Either the engineers of Mercedes are absolute geniuses, that they're like, smaller wing, we get more high speed or whatever. Or they realise tomorrow, like, fuck, we've been doing this all wrong, and they're gonna start testing with a fin like starting Tuesday. I think it's gonna go one of both ways, because I can't imagine, like all those engineers, that Mercedes are the only ones that said, man, no, we're gonna pass on the fin. I think it was only for presentation.
I think so.
Yeah.
I reckon. I think.
Well, we will find out. I mean,
Well, I guess
that's all I can say.
That fin is to try and stable the car in a straight line, isn't it? It's trying to make sure that the car isn't battered around with all the turbulent air that's hitting the car at high speed. Because that's what all the parts on the car, they're trying to, you've all that sort of turbulent air is trying to focus that air going through all the flaps and the fins to try and push that car down to make better downforce and better grip on those tyres. So
true.
It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be interesting testing to see what comes up really with Mercedes and all the other teams as well.
4 seconds faster a lap. Can you imagine that? All those records are going to get humiliated.
It's going to be going back to the sort of early 2000s when those the V10 era, when those cars were absolutely flying. So it'd be good to, but I've heard that we're going to have less overtaking, which will be a bit shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is all of this like new aero stuff, 3 to 4 seconds a lap faster, going to make it any quicker? Also, I am going to say now, I don't think there will be any records broken in Monza. I think the cars in Monza will be slower than they were last year.
Monza and Canada.
Monza and Canada's got a lot more like technical bits in the middle sector.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you've got
So there is that, but Monza I reckon will be slower.
I think?
Just because it's got the same engines but loads more downforce.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see, really, won't we?
Have to wait and see,
Yeah.
So, changing the subject from cars, I want to talk about the takeover. Obviously, Bernie's finally been taken off his throne.
It happened quickly,
Off the dictator throne, quickly.
So, I mean, if I just want to know what you guys, is it good? Is it bad? Will it be marketed different? What do you guys want to see that's that's different from the Bernie era?
I think time will have to tell on that one, because the thing is alright, it's been taken over. You've got people like Ross Brawn at the top, which I think is an incredible move for Liberty. But I think time will tell, because obviously in the everyone's going about all the Bernie Eccleston era was like this is why the cars aren't good at overtaking, because he wanted these rules and blah blah blah. So I think to judge how good Liberty Media is going to be, you have to look at the cars in probably 2019, 2020, and see what the cars are like then, how fast they are, how good they are at overtaking, etc. What the costs are like.
But it's not just the cars though; it's the way F1 as a whole is advertised and presented to the public. Like I was watching an interview with Chase Carey, the head of Liberty Media, and he was saying he wants 21 Super Bowls, and I think that's a great way forward. Like the whole build up, like Super Bowl does, and I think Bernie Eccleston just didn't really accept social media, and I think
I think social media is a big thing.
Yeah, and it's with our generation, everyone's on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and the rest of it, and you could use that so much, and to open up to a brand new audience, like with America, the Circuit of America, they attracted loads more fans by adding Taylor Swift and someone else on the night of the Saturday night, and then those other people bought tickets. And that's the way forward. You've got to market it to other people. By doing that, you're going to get more people watching the races.
I agree on one thing, but there's one thing that I hope ends now with the Eccleston era, is stop getting mediocre celebrities to do the podium interviews. Just get someone there who actually knows this stuff.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah.
There's only one guy I liked up there, and I don't think he knows anything about Formula 1, but it was Gerard Butler who did a shoey with Ricardo.
A shoey with Ricardo.
He was straight in it. Gerard Butler was so good.
What race was that?
He just didn't seem to care.
It was with Ricardo. Was it America?
I think it might have been the circuit in America.
Yeah,
it was.
Okay.
Can I just say one thing that it's good that Eccleston, if you listen to this, Bernie, thank you. But thanks for everything he's done. But he was getting a bit deluded, wasn't he? I've got an article here, about some of his ideas to renew Formula One over his, over all the years he's been working. Fast teams have to make an extra pit stop. So let's say Ricardo wins at Monaco, the next race he has to make one extra pit stop, mandatory.
It's just stuff like that. It's like,
trust me, it gets worse. Grid lottery. Instead of random grids, reverse
don't
grid.
start me on that. There's
and of course the latest one, sprinklers to simulate wet weather. So this race is a bit boring. Let's put the sprinklers on. What?
Really?
Do you know what?
awful.
I heard one probably 6 years ago, and you know in Rallycross they have that Joker lap.
Yeah, he wanted to do
He
that
was
as well.
going to start adding that in about 6 times a race.
Where?
No, but the thing
on what circuit do you have?
There
you have any space?
There is
for
no
Joker
space on any of the current circuits to
have
have a Joker lap.
You could use in Monza. You could use a bank in the old circuit in Monza.
But that's one track. You can't have one track that has a Joker
Can you imagine that
and then
in Monaco?
every other track doesn't.
That would be amazing to watch, though, to see an F1 car banking up a massive slope. It'd be going like 300 miles an hour by the time it gets off that bank.
Can you imagine the momentum?
Now that we're talking about tracks and where it would and wouldn't be possible to add a Joker lap, that thing aside, can we just say no German Grand Prix this year?
Oh, it's Bernie charging too much money, isn't it? It's like Silverstone almost didn't have a race this year, but luckily Chase Carey said we're going to reduce the costs. But it's ridiculous. You're losing some classic circuits because some track in the Far East that no one cares about, and it's a rubbish track. It's paid 40 billion, whatever. Russia, Bahrain. Abu Dhabi is always a shite race. Brazil needs to be the final race. That is always a great finish.
So is Germany. To me, though,
do you not enjoy Germany?
I can't think back to a time where I actually watched the German Grand Prix and saw it out the whole way.
The only fun thing is lap 1 the hairpin, and then it's finished. Then you can go do other stuff on your Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, Nürburgring.
Yeah.
They should bring back the whole Nordschleife or something like that.
12 miles. 12 miles.
The problem
Huge
is that track is just too small for F1 cars, especially now that they've been wider.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point, Alex. How are people going to handle street circuits now with bigger cars?
Well, it's my
God!
No overtaking at all.
It is going to be single file up until like DRS and.
Can you imagine the start at Monaco trying to just park up at your grid slot and there's like a guy about a metre away from you just because their car's so wide? It's going to be just the start at Monaco. If anyone bar the front row,
it's going to be a lot like Noob Journey Monaco. Let's put it.
It will be.
There wasn't much crashing in Noob Journey Monaco.
So let's not talk about.
I can't remember. I was at the front the whole time, so I don't remember.
Yeah, but wait a second. So Germany gets gets cut out of the calendar. But the French Grand Prix is coming in. This looking a lot like World War II, isn't it? Out with the Germans, in with the French.
Jesus. Okay.
The thing is, though, is that with the money, they're having to charge so much for tracks because the cars are so expensive. So they're having to pay, the teams more to pay for the cars, but then the lower teams are not getting enough to pay for the cars.
True.
So Liberty's media main task is to reduce the cost of the cars.
Yeah, well, like Mana going out.
Chairman of Liberty Media, if you're watching, you probably are. I mean,
are you going to shout out everybody? Lewis, are you watching? Max, are you watching?
Reduce the costs
Nico Rosberg, if you're
for
watching.
spectators. Honestly, I went to the Belgian Grand Prix in Francorchamps. Yeah. I nearly had to sell a kidney to even get there. Reduce the cost for spectators. Yeah. It's unbelievable. A ticket for 1 day, so just for the race, yeah. And that doesn't include a seat, so that means you standing up or sitting down in the grass, whatever. Well, I'm not bothered with that. But for 1 day, it's 150 euros, which translates to what, 130 pounds?
Yeah.
But if you buy a weekend ticket, it's 170.
Oh, yeah, that's about the same price as a Silverstone would cost.
Yeah.
I mean, what idiot is in charge of the pricing?
Silverstone get finance on a ticket, which is just not good enough. Not for me.
But the thing is, the fact you have to have finance to get a ticket to watch Formula One is ridiculous.
To a sporting event.
Exactly, it's
Can you
mad.
imagine that happening in football? It just wouldn't happen. There's no way.
It's ridiculous. Exactly. Yeah. Well, hopefully, what I'm hoping is the main thing that Liberty Media do is sort out the way money is given to the teams at the end of the season.
Yeah.
How many times have teams? Last 4 or 5 years. You got Mana, HRT, Caterham,
Marussia.
Well, they were Virgin. And the thing is, I think I was reading that Ferrari get a bonus because they're Ferrari, and why should they have a bonus? Why?
Get a bonus.
It's ridiculous.
Why they should get a bonus?
Exactly, it's mad.
They shouldn't be given a bonus because then you just go, well, if you don't like it, then leave, because they won't leave. They can't leave.
Yeah, because they get so much brand exposure from Formula One. I guess they do get in GTR and some of the Le Mans races in the lower categories, but Formula One is their main. They haven't got any. Do they have GP2 cars? I don't think they do.
Ferrari don't have GP2,
no. But so F1 is their main source of advertising. So if they're not there, then they're going to lose a big chunk of their customer market.
A big chunk of money, won't they?
Yeah. So they need to go, and then you need to be more equal to the lower teams.
Formula One could learn a thing or two from the MotoGP.
Yeah.
Regarding to fan base and how they manage their team.
Yeah.
There's one thing though. Going back to social media, just quickly, one thing I actually thought of is F1. I don't know. It was almost as soon as Liberty Media took over. I noticed that their Twitter was getting
a lot more active,
more common. Overtakes, the overtake of the season. There was an entire 2 weeks spread out for a poll for that.
Yeah.
And there was all of that going on. It was actually quite good. Obviously, we can guess who won it.
I mean,
it was second place. It was the same person.
But obviously you have
Pascal
to,
Verlaine.
That's what I never got, and of course now with Liberty Media it will get better. But I mean, Twitter. Have you? All of us are on Twitter during a race, and some of the things tweeted out in there. Some of it. I'm not saying all the banter and such, serious stuff. Guys who study aerodynamics in school and stuff, shouting out things that you're like, oh yeah, I never knew that, or or tactics, or someone who. Twitter is, basically Twitter is. You just have to get on it during a race. You not really learn that much, but you read up on a lot of stuff. But then you've got the Formula One Twitter account only comes online at the end of the race. Vote for your driver of the day. That's all. That's why no one takes it seriously.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough, really, is it? You'll see.
If you look at Formula E, for example, they are huge for social media, but they're owned by the FIA. It's the same organisation.
Yeah.
And yet they'll stream races live. They'll do loads of stuff on Twitter and Facebook, and they're really on it.
Now that you mentioned live streaming, I read up on an article, and they will not this season yet, because apparently it's a massive thing to get into. But they will add streaming. Well, obviously, now you can watch it on your TV or on your phone if you have an app for that. Yeah. But everything through online, like more information and stuff. Like in the Netherlands, you get a free channel, which has like proper commentary and stuff. I mean, it's a really good channel if you just like enjoy watching it. But if you got the paid channel, then you get more info, like more details, lap times, when they're gonna pit.
Well, that's
stuff
the issue
like that.
with us, myself, Causa and Rickson in the UK, is that unless you've got Sky, you can't watch all the races. You get highlights, but I'm a student. I haven't got enough money to pay for. You got to buy Sky and then Sky F1 on top of that. I would pay, let's say, £5-7 a month to watch F1, like I pay with Netflix. I would pay that to watch it because I get a full race, and that's me done. Then it's sorted. They need to do something like that.
True, like here in the Netherlands, it's a free channel. It's a free channel, but only if you're member of a certain, how do you say it? Like you got O2 and Vodafone. How do you call it? Provider.
Network.
Yeah, like a network. Yeah, like I'm with Ziggo, which is a big Dutch player. Like one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
No, and they got the Formula One channel and the car and all the stuff like that, and it's really good. But if you're not a member of Ziggo, you're FUCKED.
What, fucked?
Yeah.
I mean, bleeps.
Well, I think we've had a go at Bernie now, haven't we? So
We've just roasted.
we have.
We've roasted.
Sorry.
I mean, have we forgotten any cars? I feel like we haven't. No, we talked about the Haas, which.
We don't. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk about the Manners design, but
Yeah.
I really wanted to see Manor do well.
Yeah.
Really,
I think everyone has a soft spot for Manor. I don't think Rickson does. Rickson doesn't like him.
Just a quick shout, yeah. Your top 5 for every one of us. What you think the top 5 in constructors will be?
Top 5. Top 3.
Let's go Mercedes straight up.
Yeah.
Merc to dominate.
No, let's start on number 5. Let's start on number 5. I think Renault.
I'm going to go Renault. Yeah.
Renault will.
I'm going to go Williams.
It's their first proper chassis. So we've got Williams.
Yep.
No,
because they have Massa, who really was finished seasons ago.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
he was done after that crash.
He's passed it. When was the last time he won a race? He's passed it, and they've got Lance Stroll, who is a rookie, who I don't know anything about.
I don't know who he is.
He paid 25 million to get the seat.
Yeah.
He's a paid driver, is the way you look at it. And usually the guys that have to buy their way into a team are crap.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Absolutely awful.
I'm surprised no one said McLaren.
Sergio Perez.
You did. Yeah,
you're a McLaren fan. You got to say that.
Yeah,
This is true. I want McLaren to do well.
It's been a while since we had a Belgian Formula One driver.
Yeah.
But now with Stoffel, like, he's proven himself. He's raced with Max before, and that we said fewer overtakes and this and that. But now we got 2, let's call them rookies, that used to race together in Formula 3. Sorry.
Mm.
I mean, I think he will make it interesting, but I just don't think McLaren has their shit sorted out, like car wise, like with their engine.
Really?
Is there a lot of hype?
Apparently, it's supposed to have bought some huge upgrades this year, is what Alonso's been saying.
Yeah, but I've got an article on that, but I might as well say it now. Where was it? It was in the Spanish media that the Japanese supplier, so Honda, refused to have fitted new wiring components to go with a brand new power unit, and they just haven't fitted in time for the testing. So
I heard about that. Yeah, so the testing is going to be like a sort of 50% engine test.
And if they would put it in and run the car at full power, they would blow up the engine like they did in 2014, or they have to run it at reduced pace. But whatever they do, testing will not go as they wish. I mean, they're not going to get enough data.
Yeah, is there?
It's not a good start to their year, is it?
No. Is there quite a lot of hype for Van Dorn in Belgium specifically? I can imagine.
There's one thing you got to know about Belgium is like hype. I mean, say the Belgians are world champions in football, we would be like one night of drinking, and the day afterwards, back to work. We're not really that. I mean, if Van Dorn would win a race, it would be like all over the internet. Oh my God, we're so proud! And then in the morning after, who's Van Dorn? If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am excited, but not because of the fact that he's Belgian, but because young blood in the sport.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, quite a few new drivers. You've got Stroll,
Van Dorn, Stroll.
She's only two.
Yeah, only.
that was a mistake.
Right, but
You got loads of new drivers. You got Felipe Massa returning to the sport after an absence of 3 weeks.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
he's there just to be experienced. That's about it.
I rather would have had Jensen Button back. To be fair.
Yes, I agree with you there. Yeah.
I don't think Jens would have come back. But to be honest, if you look at Ferrari, they've got Giovinazzi as their reserve driver. And where did Pierre Gasly go?
He went to where did he go?
He went Toro Rosso reserves, didn't he?
Yeah, I think
That's a
he did.
drop.
How
That's where
depressing.
he's gone.
A guy with so much talent
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
a B team's backup driver.
Gio-
How depressing.
Giovinazzi's
That is
doing
absolute
Sauber's,
soul crushing, that
testing.
is.
Giovinazzi's doing Sauber's testing because Verlaine can't do it.
Bless.
I
I
like-
actually rate Verlaine.
The
to
thing
be
I
fair.
was
I
hoping
think he's
for
a bit of a
that
wanker.
Gasly would get a Toro Rosso seat instead of a Fiat.
Yeah. That would
Yeah,
be-
why is Kvyat
I-
still
I
there?
think-
It's just
I don't know.
he
Seeing
should
his
have gone.
contract, probably.
Well,
I presume he's got a little year left then.
Let's finish us up our top 5. I mean, I think the 4-3-2-1 spot is going to be like what, Mercedes, Red Bull, and then Ferrari. But I feel Toro Rosso will do great.
Nah, I
That's
don't.
why-
I don't.
God,
know.
Still be there for quite
That's
few
a
races.
bit.
They're my
The
fault.
only reason Toro Rosso are a thing is to provide Red Bull with drivers for the future. They are
This is
nothing
true.
else.
Have you seen-
They will mean nothing else apart from that.
Totally agree with that.
If-
Yeah.
Last season, like Carlos Sainz really proved his worth in the Toro Rosso.
Yeah,
But-
he did.
Where is he now? He's gone nowhere. He's in the same place.
What I
All Toro Rosso are is a feeder team. That's it. And then as soon as they run out of people, Toro Rosso they won't be a team anymore.
Yeah,
It will just be
The problem is
the
for
A
drivers.
team.
The problem is for drivers is when you get to Toro Rosso, you go, well, right, I'm in a big contract with like Red Bull, like
yeah.
as a big team. What happens if I don't get into Red Bull then?
Yeah,
Well,
true.
yeah, the
Sort of
thing.
done.
Well, Carlos Sainz said this is his last year in Toro Rosso. So, and the thing is, he's not going to get into that Red Bull unless they have a massive falling out like Alonso and Hamilton did in 07. So I hope. I hope Kimi would retire at the end of the season because he's sort of past his best as well. And then Sainz would get that Ferrari seat then.
I think Giovinazzi would take that seat.
Yeah, exactly. But wouldn't you pick Sainz, who would have third year in F1, over a rookie
There is that.
in Ferrari
there
as
we
well?
go. Massa retires at the end of the season.
That's true.
Well, why would you not choose? Yeah, you'd go for Carlos
Yeah,
Sainz. He's
not
a
a bad
perfect
idea.
driver for Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you forget that Williams are powered by Merc.
This is true.
Oh yeah.
They're not
Red Bull,
powered
let's go.
by.
By the
He's-
Renault engine, yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I was going to get that right before I said it.
No, yeah.
No,
So,
not Toro Rosso Ferrari engine.
Yes. Oh, they were.
Oh, yeah,
last
wait.
year. They were. I think they're Renault again this year.
Welcome to the
Oh,
Grid
but-
Watchers
but
podcast.
But
What
anyway, the
engine goes
way
in what car?
that I'm looking at it is there's no way Merc will ever take a Toro Rosso driver ever,
No,
ever,
never.
ever, because that is basically them saying to Red Bull, you can make better drivers than we can, so we're gonna have your driver. You know, it's like Bottas going to Merc. Bottas was literally their last option because they couldn't have Pascal because he's basically Lewis Hamilton 2.0, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So their only other option was Bottas, and
Yeah,
they
wanted
couldn't go
Alonso.
for a
Alonso
Carlos
was the first
Sainz.
person they called.
Yeah, but he's past it as well.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
say.
well,
I don't think he is. I'm
be
quite an
fair,
Alonso
I
fan.
think Alonso's
and-
still got a couple of years in it.
When Mercedes
years.
released like Bottas is our new driver, I was like, what?
Everyone-
Yeah, but we could
Not like
we could all
outrage,
see
but-
that happening from a long way
Not-
because
I wasn't
with Massa.
outraged, but more like, wait, what? Like,
because
questionable.
Nico's saying that he's quitting after winning the championship. It was so sudden. I don't even think like Toto or any of the Merc guys were ready for that. I thought they were like, oh yeah.
I've got I've got an article here in the German media.
Oh, I'm about to get absolutely roasted.
Yeah.
No,
Let's hear
no,
it.
it was the Mercedes chairman who literally said this. I feel like Rosberg or Nico could have warned us about him leaving Formula One, but he didn't. He showed no signs of leaving. So not up to the moment he actually won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and therefore the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the World Championship. Up until then, like the week afterward, he never warned them or said like, I might go. And Niki Lauda, so Mr. Lauda himself, said, "Gone is gone." That's literally what he said to German media. Like no words about it, just like gone is gone, out of sight, out of heart.
I was listening to an interview with Toto Wolff on 5 Live, and he was saying that they're on a plane going back to Germany, and he noticed there was something wrong with Rosberg. He wouldn't tell him though. Rosberg wouldn't tell Toto Wolff anything, and then he got off the plane, and 20 minutes later, Rosberg then rang Toto Wolff up to say, "I'm going to quit." So.
That's a big move, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't like Rosberg anyway. I think he's a massive bellend.
I didn't like him, and then he did that, and it's like, thanks for sort of showing me that I was.
Anyone interested in what statement? I mean, you know, because I put it in the chat, but act surprised. Is anyone interested in what statement Rosberg said to the German media about why he quit Formula One?
Because he's a lazy bellend.
I'm a human being, not a hamster. I like being part of Formula One, but life consists of more than getting in a car and driving in a circle. Last time I checked, Formula One wasn't NASCAR, was it?
No, but when he says that, people like Lewis, who he can be a twat and he loves the limelight, but I don't see him ever saying anything close to that. He loves racing. He lives and breathes Merc and that car and just driving.
True.
Yeah, being in the zone and in that car is what he lives for.
You would never see Lewis come out, especially to the press, and say, "I am a human, not a hamster." He would never say that.
No,
because he is one of the only drivers who has a social life out, that isn't in the really tight circle, which is
that's also what Rosberg said. Like, I made this decision for his family because he felt like they had to sacrifice a lot, and now he says that he wants to work on being a better husband and father. But why can't you combine both? I mean, I know it's difficult. You're away from home and this and that, but it's not like he's been doing it for 35 years, is it?
No.
But although you saying that is a fair point, because Lewis doesn't have a family, or he did have a girlfriend. But it seems to
now
me
he's got
he's like
You look at Felipe Massa. The bond that he has with his son. What's his son, about 4 or 5 now? He and his son are so tight and close. Like, he goes to most races. I've seen loads of videos on Facebook and stuff, and them just riding go-karts and stuff.
With Ricardo.
And stuff.
Yeah, that was a good video.
With Ricardo. Yeah, it was an incredible video. And you think, well, Massa's been doing Formula One for, I must have been about 4 or 5 when he joined. 2001 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I thought
Rickson,
it was like 06.
I know, Rickson, you're a massive Merc fan, and you'll probably agree with this. But you say Hamilton lives and breathes Formula One, or the Mercedes brand and everything. But let's say when it was Jenson Button's birthday, do you remember that they changed the paddock into a pub?
Yeah.
All the F1 drivers were there. Guess who wasn't?
Lewis.
Yeah,
Lewis.
Lewis. It's like I know he's really professional and stuff, but I never see him out and about with other drivers.
Yeah, I will
But
say
this
that.
is why he is so good.
I know. It's
Because
probably
he
why,
shies away from that, and he'd much rather focus on winning races, which is why he's a multiple-time world champion. And people like Massa aren't. People, Jensen isn't. He's not multiple-time. He's one-time.
And that is
And
because
he
of the
wasn't
car.
even. And he was
I will
with
say that
a
Jensen
stupidly
has
good
shown
car.
his pace. Jensen has shown his pace in the past. Like when he was in the same car as Lewis Hamilton, he showed his pace a lot.
But did he win a championship?
No.
Well,
No.
Jensen
Did Lewis win? Yeah, but he didn't. When he was teammates with Lewis, he didn't. He had to be given the really good car.
Lewis had to move team, which was a gamble at the time, but obviously paid off.
But look how much it's paid off.
Yeah,
Moving. He timed that perfectly, because as the Merc got better,
Yeah.
Jensen and his team got worse and worse.
I really hope Hamilton and Bottas are are a good combination because the Merc brand, as you said before, it's massive, and I mean Lewis is very, he lives and breathes Mercedes and Formula One, but Bottas is also very professional. I mean, he kind of blended in with Williams, but I might see him, blew him open. But before he even joined, when he joined Mercedes, he said a very funny. Well, I call it doing a Verstappen. Remember Verstappen's quote over the team radio in Circuit of the Americas, where he said, "I didn't come here to finish fourth."
Yeah.
And then he blew up his engine.
Yeah.
Well, Bottas did the same. Like, can you imagine? Like, you join Mercedes, the number one team, triple when or 3 years in a row they win. First thing you say to the media, I didn't join Mercedes to be second. What?
I think Bottas will do that. I don't think Bottas will have any fear in turning around and just going, no, I don't want to finish behind Lewis. I want to finish 20 seconds up the road.
He literally said to the media, Hamilton is, quote, beatable, unquote. Nico has shown it's possible. I mean, he does have a point, but still.
Bottas is a better driver than Rosberg, though.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, we are down to like the last 10 minutes, and this could get some bites. Like I'm about to say, but I know when you go on social media and Hamilton fans, especially like the proper, like I'm not a proper fanboy. I've always followed Lewis, like always.
Yeah.
But he got his car last year compared to Rosberg's was awful, and you could tell by the amount of problems Lewis had compared to Nico. And I know some people are gonna say, like the Nico fans are gonna come out and say, no, that's just how it is. He just like, Rosberg got like more luck, but the fact that Hamilton had so many issues, if he had one less issue, he could have won the championship. But as a driver, think about you're so close, and then your engine blows, and there's nothing you can do, and then you lose the championship because of that. That is soul crushing.
That's the thing. That didn't happen to Rosberg in the entire season. The only retirement he actually had, I believe, was when he and Hamilton crashed, which I believe was Rosberg's fault.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, but you do remember when Nico's clutch? Wait, was it his clutch or was it his gearbox that was all floppy and he had to skip 7th gear?
That was his cock, man.
Wait, what? No, he had to skip 7th gear, and they helped Nico over the radio, but they didn't help Lewis, and that caused a massive outrage. Sorry. Yeah.
So if we quickly at the end, predictions for world champion this year: Semba, Ricardo. Rickson?
Lewis, hands down. He's going to dominate by, I'd say, 50, 60, 70 points.
Okay. And Causa?
Yeah, I'm with Jack here. I reckon Hamilton. If his car works with him, I reckon Hamilton will win it by quite a bit, actually.
And actually thinking of... Oh, actually, True. Who are you going for?
Well, my heart says Ricardo, but thinking about realistically, it's going to be Lewis again.
Yeah, and I've actually thinking about Lewis being world champ. Just a little final note, maybe to end on. He actually, there was a tweet by I think it was BBC Sport about Lewis. He had a chat with the Merc guys, Toto and Lauda and all of those, and they've kind of worked out. Obviously, there were some cracks last year with all the issues he had with his car, but apparently they've talked over that now. And I think because they've got a stronger standing, and Lewis is by far the number one driver in that team. Yeah. They can say they're equal however much they want, but it's just bull. Lewis is the number one driver. Yeah. On the current grid as it stands, he is the best driver by so far. Maybe the best car.
That's
the thing.
Yeah, but that's
he
what
looks
Bottas,
set on the title.
Yeah, that's what Bottas said as well. Like, he respects Lewis, but that's literally what he said. Like, first we have to find out if the Merc is still the better car, and if so, then it's my job to get the most of it and give Lewis a run for his money.
Yeah.
So I like it that I'm the odd man out of saying one of the Red Bull drivers. I mean, you all agree on a Mercedes. I mean, fair enough. I mean,
I don't want to, but I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But I don't know. I mean, last year, yes, Mercedes dominated. Like their raw speed or their raw speed and everything, yes, it was a lot better. But I mean, let's not forget, Red Bull did get a few podiums. I mean, not enough, obviously, to become world champion.
They were still third place podium, so that's the thing. They didn't legitimately beat Mercedes on track.
I know. But I don't know. I have a feeling that Red Bull. I mean, they've been growing so well in the last few years. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say Max because that would be too biased.
He's too young.
And
I think.
ask me the same question in a year, and I will say Max, hands down. But
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's just gonna be Ricardo. I mean, his qualifying pace and everything. I mean, I don't know.
What would you say is your dark horse team for the next season?
Dark.
Haas.
I'm gonna go Haas. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. To be fair, I haven't really checked out the specs. I'm not really a type of guy that checks out the specs. So if you were to ask me the same question, I'd probably say like Williams, just boring because I don't really know. You know, I'm not really. I don't look into it enough. Like I can't be bothered. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
For me, it's got to be Renault.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Causa. Yeah.
First year to build their own chassis. They've got their own chassis, their own engine. They've got
They've
really
got
good
Hulkenberg,
drivers. They've got
which is the
Hulkenberg,
point.
and they've got Julian Palmer.
Yeah.
Julien Palmer.
Surprising. That was a surprising keep, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't see that happening.
What Palmer?
Yeah.
I think Palmer's awful.
Yeah, I don't like.
Let's save it for another time.
Yes,
but
yeah,
I don't rate Palmer.
I think Hulkenberg will beat him.
So
Definitely.
wait,
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
Rickson and Causa, you both say Renault. I'll say Haas.
Yeah.
What about you two?
Renault.
Oh,
No,
Renault as well.
Rickson said Williams.
Oh yeah, Rickson
Yeah,
said Williams. Oh, yeah,
I said
sorry.
Renault.
Williams,
Yeah.
and then-
But
I'm
Haas
surprised-
is an interesting one this
I'm surprised
December.
no one says Force India.
No, they won't be as good as last year. They won't be able to keep it up.
It's because their car looks trash.
Oh yeah, probably. But what were you going to say about Haas too?
I was just going to say that I was surprised. Well, I'd hope being an independent team, I'd hope they were. I guess they were above Sauber and Manor last year. They didn't really get any further than that, but hopefully they can pick it up and sort of be hitting Toro Rosso and
Yeah, true.
Force India
I mean,
really.
they got Grosjean, which is an okay driver, but K-Mag, I mean, you got to get K-Mag.
I rate K-Mag. I think he's a good driver.
K-Mag has been unlucky with his opportunities because
Yeah, but
he
also, I
hasn't
mean,
been given a solid opportunity.
you couldn't support last year's Haas car, even if you got paid. Why? Because it looked once again like something an intern made in paint.
I mean, if anyone watching this has played F1 2016 and has gone in the halves, it is the most dull thing to look at for even a 25% race. You're a bit like,
Yeah, good thing they're always at the back.
Half
though.
written on the front.
Is that how you felt around Japan?
Ooh, shots fired.
Heyo.
Wow.
Well, I
No,
think
so-
on.
But,
Go
so
on.
all three of you say Mercedes will be world champion, or Lewis will be world champion.
Yeah.
Lewis.
I
Yeah.
say Ricardo. So we got Williams, Renault, and Haas, who might be the old team now.
Dark horse.
Dark horse.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that is a good place to
Yeah.
a good point to leave.
Yeah,
it,
I think so.
reckon.
Yeah. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed our very first podcast. We'll most likely do one either the first week or second week of testing, but we'll make sure fucking words.
We'll sort something out.
We'll sort something out. There we go. Alright, there we go.
We'll
Thank
sort
you.
something out.
Yeah. But if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also subscribe to December, Causa, and Rickson.
I really need it, please.
We all
Yeah, I
need the
need
subs.
it.
We
Please
need the
subscribe.
YouTube money.
we need those 3 pence from each video.
Yeah, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next episode. Good night.